Yo guys, Mikey Microphone here, and the microphone is a metaphor for the fact that you have something beautiful to say, but you need to make the arrangements so that you can be heard. So I'm quickly going to try to follow up on what I said earlier about why I believe that buying out judge promos to increase the compensation that judges get for assisting at magic events is one thing that we can do to accelerate the incorporation of more women and people of diversity into the magic community. And I think that it is important to accelerate that, because if we do not, then the community will look from the outside as though it is one that is not sensitive to the needs of all the people who want to play. In that video, I acknowledge that there are some really big problems in the community, and that it is obvious to almost everyone that there are situations where women are not treated with the level of respect that they deserve. However, I also posited a few reasons why I, like many people, believe that magic is in general doing a good job and making progress, and that magic has certain strengths as a game and as a community that we can continue to build upon, but that we can also be proud of in the meantime. So one of the reasons why judging is a focal point of the way that women can be role models for other magic players is because women who happen to be talented magic players may not want to be role models. At the last Pro Tour, Brian David Marshall, the Pro Tour historian, interviewed somebody about what it was like to be a woman on the Pro Tour, and it was an excellent interview. And I think she, in a sense, did good role modeling, which is like not taking it too seriously, kind of wanting to be treated just like anyone else. And I think that is great role modeling, and I don't think that you should always be getting up on a soapbox, which is kind of what I said in the last video as well, that there's a time and a place for that. And a magic event is, I guess sometimes in some places that's the place for it. But as a judge, you're much more clearly in the role of being a role model. And so let's jump into an example of how I feel like the percentage of people in the community who are women is really coherent. So let's say that you're at a casual local event, a Friday Night Magic, and you hear someone say, "Take that, woman!" So maybe he was playing against his friend, maybe he was even playing against his girlfriend, maybe he was playing against someone who he knows well, and the joke is meant out of respect. And maybe he was actually talking about one of the cards, which depicts a female character. But there might be another woman in the room who doesn't know any of that stuff, and she might feel uncomfortable about that joke. So if the community is more women, say the community is 35% women, then that player will know that in the next round he's likely to face a woman. So he might know that, you know, it's not a great idea to make that joke. And it doesn't mean that he can't joke around. It just means that he has to come up with a better joke. So it is important that people be able to make jokes, and this is something that has come up in certain discussions around this topic. People need to know that they can have fun, and being able to make jokes is a consequence of being familiar with the people who are around you. If you know the people who are there, then you can make jokes and they will know that you, in your heart, mean the best version of what that joke could be interpreted as, not the worst. So making progress quickly and early and often is an important step to taking the poison out of people's words and avoiding the pain by establishing the familiarity that allows those jokes to make sense in the way they were intended. And also, you know, like I said, people need to kind of hurry up and come up with some better jokes that are not so childish. So just to kind of go into a little more depth on why I think it's important to accelerate this process. If the critiques of the community continue to the point where people are really chastised for making jokes and people are really having their feelings hurt, then people will leave the community. And then when we come to the point where we have a female champion or champions, there will be an asterisk. People will say, oh, well, they might not have been champion if all the men had stayed in the community. And that won't really be true, but it will still be hard to get past as like an asterisk status for that thing. So nobody wants that, right? Obviously nobody wants that to tarnish the victory for anyone who is able to achieve a first, you know? So we want to keep everyone in the community. We don't want to unnecessarily berate people for playing around in the way that makes sense to them. But if we can get this process accelerated of welcoming more women into the community and making sure that we behave in a way that makes them feel safe and happy, then we won't have to. So lastly, I just want to say that in terms of making those better jokes, one of the reasons why a young player or an old player might think that a joke about women is funny is because their experience of women is frustrating. And so a joke at a woman's expense might be kind of cathartic. So this is kind of where there's a really interesting feedback loop where it's like if the magic community is criticized for making jokes, and I don't mean to say that all offensive language is meant as a joke, because clearly there is a lot of different issues there. But if people are criticized a little bit too much and there's the frustration there, maybe, you know, this person's in a community where people are treated with a lot of respect and they don't understand the criticism. So if the criticism goes a little too far and the frustration peaks, then somebody might think it's funny to joke about someone's femininity. So by strengthening our community in a way that it can transcend this type of criticism, then we can avoid the problem from materializing in the first place, because people will understand that those jokes aren't funny and they won't feel the frustration that would bring them to that place. So at this point, we can say, what else can we do to bring more women into the community? And I actually have an answer to this. I wrote a book that is designed to help people get into magic. The book is called Ways We Enjoy Magic Cards, and it describes 20 plus different ways to enjoy magic. And it gives some hints about how to get started in each one if you find something that interests you. So if you would like to have a copy of this book, but you can't afford it, get in touch with me and I will make it happen. But if you can, the book is $2, and when you buy it, you get to gift it to 4 other friends. So if you are somebody who's interested in getting into magic, or if you know someone who might be interested in getting into magic, then this book might be what you need to help them feel like they have a head start, so that when they go to Friday Night Magic, they know a lot of the slang, they know what all these different references are, they know some of the history, and they know enough to laugh at the jokes. I mean, when magic players love making jokes that are very specifically referential to our shared culture. So if you are a woman who is interested in getting involved, then this book will help you understand a lot more of those jokes, and it will give you that head start. For $2, I don't know, maybe it's a good deal. And if not, you can have a refund. So you can get that book at wayswemage.com, and please let me know what you think of the video, and I will let you know what I think of that. All right, talk to you then.